Y'all, welcome back to my podcast. You know, it's your girl Jazz, and this is the Outkast podcast. Y'all, it's finna get juicy. You know, my mama just sent me a video that it kind of just sparked something in me to talk about because it's actually a very good topic. I have a few guests, not tonight, but I got some stuff coming up, y'all. I got people that want to get on my podcast. Shout out to them. So when they come, it's gonna be good. Take a sip of wine. I'm recording from my front camera this time, so you might see me like look at myself because I'm used to recording in the front camera. But anyway, yeah, I'm back. But like I was telling y'all, my mama just sent me a video when I got off, and it was talking about something that I feel like I should talk about as well. Something that I feel like is not talked about enough, or maybe might be hidden. So I'm just gonna get right into it. We're gonna talk about succubus spirits, and I think it's another term for the male. I think what is succubus and is incubus spirits. Anyway, I'm gonna simplify it. I'm gonna break it down. And I'm gonna say there are people out here. So okay, ooh, it's like so much. Okay, so I'm just gonna start. I'm gonna start in the place so I can make my point. So I'm just gonna go down so y'all can know. Let's start with the Ten Commandments, right? Whether you believe in Ten Commandments or not. When we start to look at how God's laws are broken down, and you stop looking at it like something that is just trying to really just control you, and and you start looking at it in a way to where, okay, I see why this law was put in place. Type. When it say thou shalt not commit adultery, but it does not say thou shalt not commit fornication. Now, I'm gonna make a comment, and I know I'm a follower of Christ. I come from a Christian background, and there's gonna be some things. I'm coming out of the religious state, and I'm coming more into my spiritual state. Y'all know that's what I've been talking about, so that's what I'm on. It's gonna be certain things I say that don't line up with the ideal Christian, right? So me saying that, just know that I said that I am moving out of the religious era and I'm coming into my spiritual era. So I feel like the reason why thou shalt not commit adultery is a commandment and not thou shalt not commit fornication is because, I feel like a sexual act committed with someone that you love, like you love them, like even though y'all not married, y'all gonna get married one day, you know, and you love them, you feel like you don't want to be with nobody else, you want to be with this person. So what if a person is not able to get married? What if they love each other, they boyfriend and girlfriend, but they're not able to get married? What if they don't have the means to get married? What if their living situations prohibits them to be married, but they love each other? You know what I'm saying? I be thinking about stuff like that. Like, will God still condemn you for that? I don't think that he will. And this is what I think. I feel like intent, that word intent is a big, big thing to God. I feel like that's why being a good person won't just get you into heaven. Being a good person with a good heart, with good intentions, will get you into heaven. This is just how I feel. Because like I said before in one of my videos, I believe you can be a good person with a bad heart, with ill intent. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're smiling at somebody, you want to be cool with them and stuff like that. You're all friendly, but your intent is to get close to them just to stab them in the back. You get what I'm saying? So naturally, our intent as human beings, I feel like sin does not exist unless we make it exist. Type time. Because if you're making love to somebody outside of marriage, but you really love this person, like, you, Lord knows in your heart that you love this person loves you, I do not think we would be condemned for that, because the intent of the heart is pure. Now, a sexual act done in just, oh, I want to get a pop off. I don't really love this person. I just want to do it with them real quick, get on about my way. I'm gonna do another one the next. I feel like that's when it creates. You start creating what we call those succubus spirits. And this is what I feel. Hey. This is what I feel. So when it comes to that, I do feel like, and some people may feel like they can just have sex with whoever they want to have sexual relationships with, and then they just fine. They feel like there's nothing to it. Some people don't even believe in marriage. Some people don't even want to be married. They just want to, hey, I feel like that's when you create those negative demonic soul ties, and like I said, those succubus spirits, because it's literally people that's just having sex with people. Like, okay, you got one person, you got your person that you feel like, hey, look, this is it, I don't want nobody, like, we locked in. And then you also got some people that feel like they can't just be with one person for the rest of their life. Hey, that's gonna be one of my podcasts coming up that I told you I want to talk about polygamy and I want to talk about monogamy, but I actually have two guests that I want to have. Well, actually, it's three. Okay, I got a couple who, they're into polygamy, and then I have another person who would like to talk about that. So I got some guests coming, y'all, and we're gonna retouch on these topics, because when you cut out the religiousness and you tap into spiritual, it's a lot of different gateways to different things, and I just want to talk about it. I don't know if I told y'all in one of my videos, because I ain't gonna lie, I slipped been losing track of what I've been talking about in my videos. I gotta go back and watch them. I have an Audible. I downloaded Audible, and I am listening to the Gospel of Mary Magdalene, the Hidden Gospel of Mary Magdalene. And it just basically just talks about, and I'm gonna play a clip, not on this video. I'll probably do it in another video. No, you know what? I am gonna add a clip on here. I'm gonna have to edit this. I might add it, I might not. I don't know. If I do, it'll be right here coming up. Like, yeah. And if I don't, okay, I'm just gonna keep talking. So yeah, I didn't add it. So, but it just talks about basically us waking up that inner being. I say this a lot. Y'all know I say this. Look, I'm finna take this off. You don't see no cleavage, no breast. You see some skin. Look. But yeah, waking up your inner being. We are born into a sinful nature. When I was listening to the book of Mary Magdalene, it basically, so pages 1 through 6 are missing, and pages 11 through 14 are missing. So why are these pages missing? Why are certain books taken out of the Bible? Were certain books hidden and destroyed? You know what I'm saying? Why are certain things hidden? So it's just like, you would know the truth from the Bible. And I just watched his video, and he was like, look up the Ethiopian Bible, because they had the book of Enoch. They talk about astrology. Y'all, I remember I used to be a zodiac freak, talking about, what's your sign? Oh, that's your sign? I can't talk to you. You at Aquarius. Like, y'all too. No, like, that was actually taught from the fallen angels that came down and taught the women, like, astrology. It was forbidden knowledge that that God's children was never supposed to know about. So, and it makes sense. So I was so hell bent on astrology till I just, like, I started just hearing a lot of stuff about it, and I kind of was like, lukewarm with it. Like, I got to the point where I didn't ask the guy what their sign was anymore. But sometimes, like, if I'm in a conversation and people talking about zodiac signs, they ask me what I sign, and I'm just like, well, I'm not really into signs like that. But I'm a Cancer. Like, but I'm not really into it. But still, though, I need to start saying, look, I'm Jasmine. Because I do feel like, another video I seen, I do feel like that can be demonic. I feel like us reading something. How can you be something? You have a specific sign that just tells your every trait. They don't seem like, kind of like, you know what I'm saying? You being born under a sign, and this sign just knowing everything about you, to, like, and it's to a point where even if you don't have the traits of the sign, because you feel like that's your sign, and you reading it and you reading the traits, you're gonna start to take on some of those traits that weren't even your traits, but you're gonna take on those traits because you feel like that's your sign. So it gets, you know. But anyway, y'all, these spirits, these succubus spirits, I just want to say, like, when y'all, however y'all moving out there, make sure that you moving Like, move accordingly, move right, move cautiously. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna be the person that's gonna get on here and be like, if you have sex, you're going to hell. You know what I'm saying? That's not for me to say. Like I said, some people, hey, whatever you do is whatever you do. You know, however you feel about whatever you feel about, however you look, there's only one judge, period, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But it is, when it comes to that sexual life, you know what I'm saying? Like, you definitely got to be cautious. Like, you definitely got to be cautious. Energy is real. Energy draining demons is real. Your energy, what you carry, what you allow into your temple is real. Yeah. Like, yeah, y'all. So I would say be careful. Be careful who you allow in. I would say these days, I'm not gonna lie. I'm moving so cautious these days. I'm just moving cautious these days. Like, I definitely been on my celibacy journey. You know what I'm saying? And somebody finna walk in, so y'all finna hear the door. I definitely been on my celibacy journey. And I just know, and I tell myself that when I decide to fully lock in with somebody, you know what I'm saying? And we want to be something serious, and I know that we want to get married, and I know this is my person, this is it, and y'all decide to have like a sexual intercourse, you know, I would say talk to God about it, because we are human, and even though we are spirit, we are also flesh. So I would just say, don't beat yourself up about it, but just talk to God about it. Talk to God about it, ask him to help you, because is it really temptation when it's with the person that is your person, or is it still like forbidden because it's not a ring, or it's not, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to downplay marriage. I'm not trying to upplay fornication. I'm not trying to promote fornication. I'm not trying to do none of that. I just stay open to a lot of things, and me coming from a Christian background, like, my mama is like, girl, don't you open your legs until you married. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been down a road of fornication. I've been down a road of daddy issues, giving my body to the wrong guys. And I've been there like my early 20s. I'm 30 years old now. But, my early 20s, like my peak before I had my daughter when I was 25, my daughter's 6. I was in them streets. I wasn't in them streets like that, but partying, you meet a guy, you think he cute, you think y'all hit it off, he tell you he loves you, you think he really like you, and you just, oh, I can just let loose and just, he likes me, I can just give it up. And then you do, and you realize how they just move on to the next, but how you still stuck. Because as women, we are emotional creatures, and we are more emotional, and men are more logic. And it's just amazing how a man can have intercourse with a woman and not love her and go back to the woman that he loved. And a woman, we can't just go and have intercourse with a man and just be done. I mean, some women like that, hey, they savages. That's them succubus spirits. You got to watch out for, fellas. But it's a reason why women, we really have to be picky and pick and choose who we give our temple to, because we are not like men. We do not have a men mindset. Women out there that's thinking that you can do what a man do, you can't. And I would say I just had a conversation with one of my coworkers earlier today at work, and we was talking about, poly relationships, and we was talking about marriage, and she was talking about how commitment is not for her. Like, you really have people that feel these ways, and you can't judge them for that. All you can do is just let them find their way and let God work it out for them. But I don't judge people for that, because people come up different ways and they're exposed to different things, and that's just what it is, you know what I'm saying? So I just try to keep an open mind, and I ask those people certain questions like, well, how do you feel about this? Why do you feel like you're like that? How do you know what I'm saying? And you'd be surprised at the answers you get. That's why I say, I'm gonna start having people on my podcast, different people. I told you I got a poly couple that's gonna come on here. I got another guy that's gonna come on here. I got another guy that's gonna come. I got him lined up. It's gonna get real. But yeah, I just wanted to leave that there. So I'm just gonna end it on this. I'm gonna end it on this note. I'm talking so fast. Sip, sip. I'm gonna end it on this note. This is a judge-free zone, right? Don't beat yourself up if you're confused, if you don't know what you're doing, if you don't know where you're going. Talk to God about it and talk to God. Be real. Y'all better start being real and stop trying to be perfect, because I do feel like the confinements of being a Christian, it makes you just you panic, you fear, you get scared because oh my gosh, I can't do this, I can't think like that, I can't, or if I slip up and make this mistake. And God gives us grace and mercy so you can always repent. That's the grace. That's just the wonders of it. Repent and mean it. You know what I'm saying? You know, if you really feeling bad, if your conscience, if your conviction is really eating you up so bad to the point where you just like, you can always repent. And then you got those that, you know, may feel a little differently. Like I said, the scenario that I said about the intent. And even though you're not married, you feel like this person is your one, you feel like this person, and if you're not able to get married, like, does that still, when you get condemned because you have an intimate moment with your partner, even though that y'all not married? It's like I said, it just gets, I have questions. So as I'm talking to y'all, I'm also just discovering and uncovering and just curiosity. But I hope y'all enjoyed this podcast series. This is episode 5, I believe. And I'm going to keep them coming. And you know, your girl don't give no set date or no set time. They're going to come when I drop them. They're going to drop. I'm going to drop it like it's hot. Y'all already know. So, it's your girl Jazz. This is the Outkast podcast. And I will catch y'all in the next video. Peace and blessings. Stay up. Stay up, up, up. Stay prayed up, head up, energy up, spirits up, everything. Love y'all.